Hi, everybody. Good morning. Happy Sunday. How is everything? I am coming on to give a little bit about me. I just want to introduce myself, say hello, and invite you over to Single and Happy. That's the name of my publication here on Substack. And, just to have a moment with you, just to share with you a little bit about myself. My name is Adriana. My pen name is Sweet Sister. And sort of like my mantra for life is Sweet Sister. It's this idea that as a writer and a wellness teacher, I can be uplifting to others. And I believe everyone deserves a sweet sister. It's the thing that you sort of declare so that you can step into. And I highly recommend doing things like this where we step into our greatness with a sort of like avatar or a sort of alter ego. And it may not be that you are exactly that thing, but it certainly guides you. And so Sweet Sister guides me forward. It reminds me of who I am, who I want to be, and who I am um, evolving and becoming slowly, little by little. I like to do a lot in the world. I'm a community educator. That's my job. I'm also a full-time student back in college after 20 years or so. I am studying, the ways of the world. Urban studies is my major, graphic design is my minor because I really enjoy working for nonprofits and organizations that educate, and I can see myself sort of as an outreach person, how do we communicate our mission, our values? I also really enjoy helping people get to the core of what their message is. So we have a lot of entrepreneurs and teachers and healers these days, and I really see myself as someone who can guide others. And so I'm back in school. I love being a student. My YouTube channel is called Students of Starting Over because I've had the opportunity to start over a few times. And sometimes sometimes you could feel the opposite way. You could feel like, oh, why do I have to start over again? But the truth is, we're never starting over from scratch. We're always starting over again with more wisdom, more knowledge, more experience. And so if we think of the loop, a lot of people use like this sort of like looping. I keep looping, I keep revisiting the same old things. But when we revisit them, we usually revisit them from a higher prong. Sometimes we revisit them from a lower prong, depending on our circumstances. But if you allow yourself to integrate, the things that happen, then when you revisit your situations, hopefully you are revisiting them with a higher perspective, having learned some lessons first, having applied the experience and the knowledge that life brings you. And I used to be a coach. I used to coach women. I really used to coach men and women. My focus, I always declared that I wanted to coach women, but I ended up coaching a lot of people who had addictions. And, that experience really helped me a lot. I used to teach tapping. So if you don't know what tapping is, it's one of the things you can come to me for. Um, I love tapping because it helps you feel, which could be very difficult. Like to get in touch with the raw emotion that's there can be hard. So if you work with me, I am your sweet sister on that journey, on that path. We tap together and we get familiar. We befriend those things that we hate about ourselves, wish we could change, wish we could avoid, all of that. And by befriending them and looking at them and getting curious about what you feel and how you feel, it sort of opens up a new pathway to get over yourself, heal from a heartbreak, move out of your own way so that you can reach the things that we want to reach, because that's what this is all about, right? Like, don't we all want to be known for something? Don't we all want to reach for something? Don't we all want to, do better, have better? But sometimes we're not, because, we're so afraid to face that part of ourselves that is ugly, that in our eyes is ugly. And so my work has really been to befriend those parts of me that I find ugly, to examine myself, to look at myself, and instead of looking at myself with really harsh judgment, to look at myself with curiosity, to get to the bottom of why I feel a certain way, and then to move it, to shift it. And yeah, I'm on Substack because I have always been a writer. I I want to say that I love writing, but sometimes I experience a block in writing. And so I came to writing to, I came again to my writing life a couple years ago. I write a monthly newsletter called First Fridays out of my website, sweetsister.love. And when Substack came out, I was sort of like on the fence, on the fence, on the fence, because committing to a writing schedule has always been sort of my obstacle. And then I decided to come to Substack. Like, okay, just the same way you threw yourself at your newsletter, throw yourself at Substack a little bit. The social media world is another rat race, and oh, my internet is unstable. Hmm. I'm not sure if anyone can see this or if anyone is going to see this, but I'm going to keep going. Um, what was I saying? I was saying that this is an alternative to social media, a different alternative, something that gets to highlight what it is I'm after. And what I'm after is my writing world. I am a self published author. I wrote a collection of short stories, and I'm currently now writing another one. It takes time, it takes a lot of effort. There are a lot of moving pieces. I have a full time job, and I'm a full time student. And I also, write the Substack, write my monthly newsletter. I teach yoga. I facilitate tapping circles. And, my life is very full and very active. And so to sit down and write is like the new challenge. It's like, inside of all that I'm doing, can I also pull those ideas, pull those experiences together to create a really cool newsletter and to begin to, share information that helps people feel better? Because that ultimately is my mission, that people feel good about themselves, that we learn the tools necessary to let go of what no longer serves us, like resentment, anger, deep grief, self loathing, depression, things like this. All things that I have worked my way through. Like, if I could tell you a story about the last couple of years and the downward spiral that I experienced, now that I'm on the other side, I believe that I have a lot to share with people who are going through the same. When life throws you lemons, you need a good chef to teach you the various recipes of lemonade. And I am that chef. My first career was a culinary. I went to culinary school and my kids were babies. I worked privately as a private chef for different people. I catered events. Then I went to the Institute of Integrative Nutrition and learned about different alternative diets. so that I could help people eat better. And then I went to yoga teacher training and began to incorporate eating better, moving better as part of sort of like my offerings. And then I started doing trauma recovery coaching. And I just became a sort of full package of like, what are the main things that help people heal and feel better? Your food, your physical activity, your emotional resilience, and your ability to hold, a lot of emotion and to hold yourself through a circumstance. And so now it just feels right that I would focus myself on my original childhood dream, which is writing. And all of these things give me so much content. They give me so much to speak on and to talk about. And so that part is very exciting and I'm happy to be on Substack sharing. My current challenges on Substack is like really just focusing my time on doing the thing that I want to do and not being so spread out all over the place. But I'm excited. I'm not in a rush. I'm appreciating myself. I'm allowing myself to learn and grow and be different and new. And this is, my hand is itching, so I'm going to put it in my pocket because my grandma used to say that that was money coming in. One hand is money leaving, the other hand is coming in. So either way, put them in your pocket so that you keep your money. Anyway, I see myself. What I see next for myself is, coming together of all those tools, really expanding on all of them, that I become a resource for people who want to eat better, who want to move better, who want to behave better because their emotions and their mental well being is stable. And these are things that I have so much confidence in myself about. Single and happy on Substack because I am single and happy after, some years of heartbreak and then of going back and forth in the dating world. And I just feel like it's a safe place, to be in my own energy, to love myself, to be my own boyfriend, to be my own best friend, to be my own sugar daddy, sugar mama. And I've always wanted that feeling of sovereignty, of autonomy, that I can take care of myself, that I can feed myself, that I can support myself, that I can be independent. Independence is important to me. And so single and happy is this idea that I can step into, being alone and leaning on myself and writing about the world and my experiences from this perspective as a single woman. I could easily call myself a divorcee. I could easily call myself a single mom. I could easily say a lot of things, but I have chosen single and happy in the same way that I have chosen sweet sister. It's something to step into. It's a mantra. It's a guiding system that says, here we go. We're going to go in this direction. And so I love also my YouTube channel for that reason. I'm a student of starting over. I believe that you can start over again. I believe that you can be single and happy. And we don't have to listen to the that rhetoric that says, that old school mentality that says you are more valuable when you have a husband or you're more valuable when you are coupled. Been there, done that. It has its place, it has its honor, and one day I will be coupled again. But for now, it's really important for us to know what it is to befriend ourselves and to be our own number one. You got to be your own hero. No one is coming to rescue you. So you have to be that version of yourself, that thing that you look for outside in the world. we have to be that for ourselves. And I'm just really, I'm really happy to share about myself, to come on and to be with you. I am the Instagram stories person. I post on stories almost every day. And I'd like to see what it's like to make that shift from Instagram to Substack and to share, just off the dome, straight off the dome, like whatever's on my mind, give it to you in a way that will serve you and help you. So on this happy Sunday, I wish you coolness, lightness, and peace. I believe in a free world, in collective liberation, that each and every one of us wake up to our innate power, and that we begin to embrace our freedom to be exactly who we are and to be happy, because joy, joy is our revolution and love is our movement. Thanks for listening. I hope that you subscribe.